Oh man, guys. Darn it. Guys, I am sad right now. I am so sad right now because it is looking like Don Carlo Ancelotti might be getting sacked at the end of the season. As a Barcelona fan, I absolutely loved him this season. I thought he's been pretty good this season. You know, up until now, before getting eliminated to Arsenal in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, he was fighting for a treble. Like, he was on for the treble, and they could have potentially won it. They could have potentially won it. I think under Carlo Ancelotti, Real Madrid played beautiful football. I think he's a tactical genius. I think he's a tactical genius. And I think this is just an off season, one off season where they should give him the opportunity to stay. I think he should stay. Please, Real Madrid, keep Ancelotti. Please keep him. Give him another chance. He's won Champions League for you guys. Come on. Give him another chance. Let him stay another year so you guys can continue to play terrible, disgusting, disastrous football. Because that's exactly what we saw today against Arsenal, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, Real Madrid are out of the Champions League after getting knocked out to Arsenal in the quarterfinals with a 5-1 aggregate. Losing 2-1 at home. One goal from Bukayo Saka, one goal from Martinelli, and one goal from Vinicius Jr. Balloon d'Oro. Wow. All I can say is disgusting, embarrassing performance from Real Madrid today. That just sums it up. To say the least. It sums it up. That's the only phrase you can say to sum up this game from Real Madrid. Wait. We have aura. Wait. Comeback is on. We've done it before. 15 Champions Leagues for a reason. 90 minutes at the Bernabeu is a very long time. We talked about the comeback on the bus. 9 p.m. tomorrow. Remontada. Ancelotti, when he raises that eyebrow, magic happens. Luka Modric, aging like fine wine. All this talk about a comeback for that performance. Man, if I was a Madrista, I would be so disgusted by the way Real Madrid played today, because that had to be the worst performance in a Champions League that I've seen Real Madrid play in years. The worst performance, because they needed to score to win this match. And in the first 45 minutes of the game, the first half, plus 7 added minutes, they had 0 shots on target. 0 shots on target. All this talk that if we score in the first 10 minutes, we can make the comeback. If we score in the first 15 minutes, we can make the comeback. And they didn't shoot on target once in the first half. And they got lucky. Courtois saved them again. They got lucky that Bukayo took a terrible penalty and Courtois saved them. Because even if Saka took it well, if he put more pace into it, just hit it normally, Courtois would have saved it because he guessed the right way. So, again, they got lucky that it wasn't worse, because it could have been worse. It could have been worse. And wait. One thing's for sure. Real Madrid fans, you can never, ever use the excuse that Arsenal were just parking the bus today. No. You cannot use that excuse for this game. Because Arsenal, the only thing they did was replicate what they did in the first leg. That defensive cohesion, that well-structured balance in the midfield and the defense that completely took you off the game. Took you out of the game where you couldn't do anything, just like in the first leg. They just did the exact same thing. They weren't playing low block. They just had a perfectly structured team to the point where you guys couldn't do anything. You couldn't do anything. All you could do was cross. So don't ever use that excuse of low block. That's inexcusable. Because I saw after the match, Lucas Vazquez said, they just came to defend. I mean, what do you expect? They're going to defend because they know that you guys are going to be a lot more on the front foot. You should be more on the front foot. So yeah, they're going to defend. That's part of the game. You have to defend, especially when you're holding on to a lead. That's what they had to do. And that's what they did perfectly well because all they did was cross, 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 cross. Every cross got blocked. Every cross got cleared from an Arsenal player. Every shot got blocked. Nothing was working today. The first shot on target that Real Madrid had in the first game, in the whole game in general, was from Vinicius Jr., who literally just shot at David Raya. Just a little pass to him. The second one was from the goal that he got, that Vinicius Jr. got. Okay, and then the third one, I'm pretty sure was just Brahim Diaz who just shot it. Just shot it and Raya easy save. But come on, you guys had to make the comeback and you couldn't make anything happen. Zero creativity, zero tactics, zero idea. They were clueless out there. And that's as we're gonna give as much credit to Arsenal than just Madrid being terrible. And that's been the story of Real Madrid this whole season. It's been the story. Because I'm sure Arsenal fans are happy about this. 100% they're happy about this. This is a great achievement for them. Destroying Real Madrid, embarrassing Real Madrid over 2 legs, especially at the Bernabeu. But as a Barcelona fan, as someone who's been watching Madrid this season, I didn't really expect. I'm not really shocked about this. I'm not shocked about it because Real Madrid this whole season have been terrible. They've been bad. They have no tactics, no idea of how they want to play football with this team. They have Kylian Mbappe playing as a striker, guys. Kylian Mbappe, I'm telling you right now, he's not going to be the Ronaldo regen. All this idea of he can do what Ronaldo did, Ronaldo had to adapt, while Ronaldo was amazing in the air. When does Mbappe ever win headers? When does Mbappe ever do that? Ronaldo was a physical specimen that was terrifying to go up against. Mbappe without his pace, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? He's going to bitch Saliba? He's going to bitch even Kyrior? No. What's he going to do in the box? What's he going to do? A fox in the box? He's going to turn into a fox in the box? A winger, a take-on winger with high pace who puts in dangerous balls from the left flank. What he's been doing basically his whole career is going to magically turn into a striker just because he joins Real Madrid? What was the point of signing Mbappe if you're going to play him out of position? What was the point? Last signing from the beginning was very confusing because of already having Vinny. But again, that's a different story. That's a different day. We can talk about that. But the whole front three, the whole team from Real Madrid were just terrible today. Vinny, disaster class. Mbappe, disaster class. Rodrigo, was he even playing? Jude? Well, don't compare him to Pedri, please. The only player I can give credit to was Valverde. He was the only one going up and down, defending, attacking, doing as much as he could to try and get Madrid into the game, to try and help Madrid from not getting embarrassed even more, to try and do something. He's the only one I can give credit to because I can't really say, Madrid had the defense was great either because for one, they got scored on twice, and for two, because Real Madrid had the ball most of the game, especially into the second half, but they just didn't do anything with it. I think Arsenal were definitely slow in the attack for sure. They were definitely slow in the attack where they had moments where they could have scored more goals, but they just played slow, and I got to really blame Odegaard there because Odegaard was messing up so many final third passes. It was honestly very frustrating. I was like, during my stream, I was saying, yo, put Lewis Kelly there. Take Odegaard out of here. Put Lewis Kelly. But they obviously don't have any other left back option. They're not gonna risk Zinchenko coming in or anyone else because they want to play the game out. But Odegaard messed up so many opportunities where Arsenal could have gone and scored more. They could have scored more. They got to thank Courtois for saving that penalty because, again, the result would have been worse early on to the match. Because I don't know what the hell that was from Saka. I don't know why he took that kind of penalty. But even if he put pace on it, even if he just took it normally, Courtois still guessed the right way. So he would have probably just saved it either way. But yeah, it was a bad penalty from Saka. But thank Courtois that it wasn't even worse for you guys. That's what I got to say. And the lineup from Arsenal was exactly the same when they went from the first leg, right? Everyone was the same. David Raya, Timber, Kyrior, Saliba, who was in the left back, Lewis Kelly, midfield of Mikel Merino, Odegaard, Partey, and and Rice, and up top Mikel Merino, Saka, and Martinelli. From Madrid's end, Thibaut Courtois, David Alaba in 2025 as a left back after the terrible performance he put up in the first leg. And got a yellow card, 3 minutes into the match, 4 minutes into the match? Yeah, good job. Asensio, Rudiger, Lucas Vasquez. Midfield of Valverde, Tchouaméni, Jude Bellingham, and up top, the same three. Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vinny. Like when I think when we I think even Madridistas can agree. Like when we saw Lucas Vasquez there, I think at that point we was like, what is this? Like I understand Valverde going into the midfield just because they were getting overrun in the midfield so much in the first leg, where getting Valverde there will probably slow down, bring that down a little bit. But you're having Lucas Vasquez up there, like it's just always gonna be a liability. Which credit to him, I don't think you can really blame anything on Lucas Vasquez today because he didn't, have to suffer much defensively. Like it wasn't like Martinelli was all over him because Real Madrid had most of the ball this game. But what I can say is that Lucas Vasquez in that first half looked quote unquote like the most threatening player because he looked like he put the most dangerous crosses in compared to Vinny, compared to Bellingham, compared to Mbappe, compared to Rodrigo. He was putting in the most clear, dangerous chances into the box because that was their game plan for this game, just cross, cross, cross. And he was the only one who really put in some dangerous crosses, if you want to say dangerous, but a lot of them were just cleared. But if it got to the right person, something could have, maybe happened. But it was just a match where Real Madrid were just crossing, gets blocked, crossing, gets blocked, shooting, gets blocked. Arsenal just put up a defensive masterclass today, yet again. 2 legs where Arsenal just put up a defensive masterclass where none of the front 3 did absolutely anything. If you want to talk back up about the penalty for Saka, Mikel Merino gets taken down by Raul Asensio. I've been seeing the controversies is that it happened the same thing with Mbappe. Well, looking closely at both of them, I'm going to be objective here. I think the ref was spot on. I think he was spot on because Raul Asensio pulled back Mikel Merino when he was trying to make a run there. But Declan Rice was already on Mbappe. And you can see that Mbappe literally just trips on himself. And Rice was already letting go of him because the ball was going to go out. He wasn't going to get to the ball. Let's be honest. He wasn't going to get to the ball. Nothing was going to happen there. And then Mbappe just throws himself to the ground because he felt some contact from Rice. He was like, oh, let me fall to the ground. But you can literally see him falling himself. He decided to fall. It was just an acted fall. Like he just wanted to do it. It wasn't because Declan Rice pulled him down. No. He fell on his own easily. It was just an easy drop. And then the ref checked the VAR, which, by the way, it took so long. I don't know why it took so long. And yeah, clearly not a penalty. But Mikel Merino's, at least Raul Asensio was actually grabbing him and then pulled him down. Rice wasn't a pull down. Like, it wasn't. So I think the both pen decisions were completely right. And even at that, even if you did get the pen, what were you going to do after? Because you got the goal back immediately after Saka's... Bobby, remember this? After Saka did that to you, and then you did nothing. Vinny's celebrating like... Vamos caralho. But you guys did nothing. You guys didn't do anything after that. You did nothing. None of your chances. No dangerous chances at all. Nothing. So it didn't matter even if you got the penalty. Because I doubt Saliba would have made that mistake after what he giving Vinny that goal. I doubt he would have done that. Even if you scored that penalty early on. No, it wouldn't have happened. But the goal that Bukayo Saka scored, incredible movement, incredible goal. Mikel Merino finds him perfectly and then just chips it over Courtois. Easy dink. Beautiful play. And then, obviously the dagger from Martinelli towards the end of the match where completely outpaces Fran Garcia. Like, I thought Fran Garcia could have caught up to him a little bit, but no, bro. Wow. And then, boom, squares it in 2-1. Easy. Easy dagger. But, again, it was a matter where Arsenal could have had some chances in the first half, but again, Odegaard just completely messed up so many opportunities for them. And Real Madrid just never were in the game. Mbappe comes off with an injury. Like it looked like, I was joking a bit in the stream saying, "Oh, look, he's faking an injury so he can get out, so he wouldn't get the blame." But he definitely, twisted that shit. So we'll see if he'll make it for the Copa del Rey final because the way that he landed looked bad. Definitely looked like it hurt. And what's his name? Endrick comes on, which is embarrassing from Ancelotti because you barely want to play him throughout the season in the league. In the Copa del Rey is the most we've seen of him. You barely want to play him in the Champions League. And then you decide to bring him in a Champions League night in a quarterfinals against Arsenal where you're 5-1 down on aggregate. That's when you decide to bring him in. That's when you decide to bring in an 18-year-old to try and step up, try and do something, to try to show that he's Real Madrid DNA in him to finally do something. That's embarrassing. How are you going to bring him in for that match? That's so foul. And you don't even bring Arda Güler in. Like, what is Arda Güler on Real Madrid for? What is he there for? Arda Güler's like the most threatening player when it comes to crosses. So why is he not coming onto the pitch if that was your game plan throughout the whole game? Why would he not come on the pitch? I don't know. Fran Garcia comes in. So Fran Garcia comes in, Endrick comes in, and Ceballos comes in. I don't know what was the point of all those subs because they did nothing. Ceballos, we need Ceballos. Oh, he was shit. Fran Garcia, you're not gonna get anything from Fran Garcia, to be honest. And Endrick, come on, like you're just asking too much from a kid to do something in this kind of day. Like he couldn't do anything because in general, Real Madrid couldn't do anything. The only player again I can give credit to is Federico Valverde, but the rest of the team was awful. Awful. I don't like no credit can be given to Vinny just because he put Saliba under pressure and got a free goal like that. No credit at all. Because Vinny today was disgusting yet again. A terrible performance from Vinny. Every single cross he attempted, nothing went through. Timber, another masterclass against Vinny. Timber didn't have to worry. The best player on the pitch today, in my opinion, you can say Saka because he was definitely threatening going forward, but the best player for me was Declan Rice. Wow. What a performance from Declan Rice in 2 legs. What a performance. Defensive masterclass. Going forward, controlling the game as much as he could for Arsenal. Showing that leadership on the pitch. The way that he screamed at Party after he received that yellow card because he's going to miss the first leg against PSG. It just shows the leadership. It just shows the effort that he wants to put in to bring success to Arsenal. That 100 million signing that everyone's been making fun of for Declan Rice is showing why they paid that much for him because he put up an incredible performance in both legs against Real Madrid, against what's supposed to be the best midfielder, the best midfield in the world. Where Real Madrid was Tchouaméni, Valverde, all these players, but Rice showed them levels in 2 legs. 2 legs. I would 100% give him the man of the match for this game. He was amazing. As much as the whole defense was amazing. Kiwior, great performance. Saliba bitched Mbappe the whole game. Handled Mbappe the whole game. Party handled that midfield again. Like Jude Bellingham, non-existent. Did nothing. What did Bellingham do? Oh, he made 1 tackle. He made 1 tackle. Nothing. You can't say he's the best midfielder in the world. Never. What did Modric do? What did Modric do when he came on? Nothing. Bro, nothing from, just absolutely nothing. Nothing for Real Madrid today. And that has been the story of Real Madrid this whole season. That's literally been the story. But, hey guys, I think the more objective Real Madrid fans expected this to happen. I think a lot of them expected this to happen. Obviously, they're still always going to have that expectation of their team coming back because of the players that they have and because they've done it before, blah, blah, blah. But this Arsenal side just went in with the game plan that they needed to go with and completely took Real Madrid out of the game and outclassed them in both legs. But the most embarrassing part of it is the fact that Real Madrid couldn't even win at home. Forget about coming back on the aggregate, but at least winning at home, helping your team, giving some kind of joy to your fans, some kind of joy, but nothing. Yeah, all that talk about aura, all that talk about comeback kings is just went out the door today because absolutely nothing from Madrid, and they didn't deserve to go anywhere near the semifinal this year. And Arsenal did. Impressive performance from Arsenal in general. I think everyone put up great effort. Mikel Arteta winning with the perfect game plan against this Real Madrid side and deservedly goes to the semifinals against PSG. And in other news, Inter Milan defeat Bayern Munich, and now Barcelona will have to go against Inter Milan. Great. I'm not happy about that. But again, these are the games you have to deal with. This is Champions League. The teams that got to the semifinals are there for a reason because they've been great in the Champions League in general, and now it's time to see who will get to the final. But Arsenal, great performance, deservedly get to the semifinals. Barcelona versus Inter Milan for the semifinals, and Arsenal versus PSG. The first game will be played at the Emirates against PSG. No, the first game will be played at the Parc des Princes, whatever you want to call it. And the second game will be played at the Emirates for their end. And for Barcelona's end, the first game will be played at the Montjuic, and the second will be played in San Siro. Gonna be tough. But let me know down in the comments below who you guys thought was the man of the match for this game. Who do you guys think deserves the blame for this besides Ancelotti? Who would you say was just the worst performing player on Madrid's end? Who was the best player for Arsenal's end? And what do you think about Ancelotti's future? Will he just be sacked? Is it done? I was seeing after the game that some news that Luka Modric is going. Apparently, this is Luka Modric's final UCL game ever for Real Madrid. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Ancelotti's future. How are you feeling about the semifinals of the Champions League, the matchups for the semifinals? Who do you think will reach the final, and ultimately who will be champions of the Champions League? So make sure leave all those comments down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, hit the notification bell for every time we upload. Share to your friends that love football, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out, motherfuckers.